Hi, Honest Discussioner here. This is a video response to the Reb Shlomo. I'm going to be referring to him as Reb throughout this video. Reb, if that's not what you want to be called, I apologize. Let me know what you do want to be called, and I'll refer to you as that. Now, Reb is a man of the Jewish faith who holds what I think even he would consider are controversial beliefs about the Jewish faith, ones that are not very mainline. This isn't to dismiss what he believes, I'm just describing his position here. For example, many of us in the past have brought up all of the genocide and slavery and slaughter that the man that's supposedly called God in the Old Testament performed upon the earth, wiping the flood, wiping all of them out. And, you know, we would point out, isn't this God evil? And his response to that would basically be, yes, those were very evil actions. Those were terrible actions, horrible. He would agree with that totally, but it doesn't matter because it's God and he's allowed to do that. He can kill whoever he wants because our lives don't belong to us, they belong to God. He also believes that God made a covenant with every single one of us, and if we don't do what he says, God will eventually smite us. So that's what he believes. Now, I've never been a fan of using the line that all of the evil in the Bible, and therefore we shouldn't believe in it. Anyway, so I'm not going to attack you on that point, and it seemed to be pointless to do that. What I am going to attack you on is your reason for believing the Bible is true. You seem to assert it basically as a brute fact. For example, in your video a couple weeks ago, you basically said, I'm pretty sure I'm quoting you here, you believe the Bible is true because it says it's true. That is a classic example of circular logic. That is a logical fallacy. It is not a good way to justify your belief in anything. I will demonstrate this. Let me get a piece of paper here. I have here a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to write on this piece of paper. This was written and inspired by the one and only God. All events and commandments previously given are now void. One addition. Give Honest Discussioner, let's see, 11.38% of your gross income. So now, according to your logic, this says it is inspired and written by God, therefore this is true. And you are now officially commanded, apparently, to give Honest Discussioner, that's me by the way, 11.38% of your gross income. Do you see why this is kind of a bad way to justify something as true? Now, you might argue that there's many differences between what I just did and the Jewish scriptures, and you'd be right. I just wrote that right here in front of the camera, but there are plenty of other books out there, some even older than the Jewish scriptures, that assert the same exact things. So where do you get off saying that your book is true because it says it's true, but all the other ones are not true, even though they claim the exact same thing? This is problematic. Now, later on, in a later video, you do discuss a historical reason, or an historical reason, for believing in the Jewish scriptures, that being that Exodus is true. Now, you refute the claim that there's no evidence of the Exodus in our archaeology by talking about the Hyksos. and saying that there's plenty of evidence of them being expelled around the time of the Jewish Exodus, and therefore they are the same tribe as the Israelites. They're one and the same, and this shows how accurate the Bible is. I did some research on the Hyksos. I admit I hadn't heard of them, and as far as showing them as one and the same, it really does not seem like the evidence supports that position at all. At the very least, not very much. And there are many other competing theories out there. A lot of them are actually ones that try to refute the idea that the Hyksos and the Israelites are the same in order to prove the validity of the Old Testament. There's a variety of things on there. There's not one way we can solidly say we know this is the case. I don't think you're justified in bringing that up and saying, here you go, right here. This is why you should believe. This is why we know it's true. Even if it was true, that does not prove that it was actually God that did any of those things. All we know is that there was a group called the Hyksos that ruled over Egypt for quite some time, for I think 2 centuries or 2 dynasties, something along those lines. I don't think the Old Testament goes over any time that the Jewish tribe that is chronicled literally took over Egypt by force, by military force. I'm sorry. At the very least, you can't really say that this is a solid piece of history from your perspective. And you also believe that God destroyed the whole earth in a flood. And I'm sorry, there's no evidence that God destroyed the world. The earth was never covered with water completely. And I'm pretty sure you don't think that it was a local flood either, so that goes out the window. There's really just so much in history that is wrong with the Old Testament. I hate to break that to you. That's about all I have to say on that. If you want to talk about this live on Skype or Blog TV or anything, if you're interested in doing that, open invitation to your Reb, and I hope to continue this discussion with you. Have a nice day. Honest Discussioner out.